one can find the exquisite Portuguese islands of the Azores in the middle of the North Atlantic, between Europe and North America. The port of Praia da Vitória is installed in the eastern shore of Terceira Island. Given its central location, the port of Praia da Vitória has a strategic advantage for the maritime traffic on the North Atlantic. This port has a relevant position in the convergence of the most important international maritime seaways that cross the Atlantic corridor. The port of Praia da Vitória's Bay is limited by two artificially embanked breakwaters, with a protection layer made out of tetrapods, antifer blocks and coral locks, with a length of 550 meters for the northern breakwater and 1,300 meters for the southern breakwater. The northern terminal was constructed in the early 60s and it's a military fuel terminal that supports the Lajes airfield. The southern terminal was constructed in 1989 and it's in this terminal that the port operations as well as the maritime commercial activity are centered. The main maritime channel to access the port is 400 meters wide and has a depth of 17 meters to the hydrographical zero. The natural maneuvering bay inside the breakwaters has a diameter of 500 meters and a minimum depth of 12 meters in the access channels to the main piers. The southern terminal is composed of 3 piers, summing a total of 700 meters for total mooring capacity. The Alpha Pier has 350 meters, which allows the mooring of ships with a draught of 11 meters and, given its multipurpose nature, it's used for operation with containers, dry bulks, fuels and cruises. The Beta Pier has 200 meters and it can moor ships with a maximum draught of 9 meters and is specially dedicated for break bulk cargo. The Charlie Pier has 150 meters and it can moor ships with a maximum draught of 6 meters and supports the inter-island ferries operations, being gifted with a small passengers terminal and a ramp. The southern terminal has a total of 9 hectares, handles about 800,000 tons of cargo and has a capacity for handling 200,000 TEUs per year. The port has all the machinery required for handling all the cargo that it receives, featuring a harbor crane with 100 tons of capacity. The port of Praia da Vitória is reachable by road network composed of a highway which connects the island to cities, the International Lajes Airport and the main logistic parks. Inside the port, in its southwest sector, there is 3 smaller terminals, a terminal for bulk cement, a fishing terminal and an inter-island goods transportation terminal. Included in the fishing terminal is a ship elevator that supports the naval construction and repairing industry. The municipal marina is located in the north shore of the bay. A logistical park was constructed in the port periphery, where the major agricultural and handling companies were implemented. Still inside the port boundaries is installed a petrochemical terminal responsible for the storage and the island's distribution of liquid fuels and gas for domestic use. Considering the port potential growth through its internationalization, 50 hectares of land were reserved for that effect. For the island's constant need of supply, the port of Praia da Vitória is an important, vital and local structure. Therefore, and given the potential of its location in the Atlantic corridor, it could be a leveraging and developing factor for the economical growth of the autonomous region of the Azores. The port of Praia de Vitória, a port in the Atlantic corridor.